Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah and I'm a yoga instructor and a cat mom, and today we are going to be doing a nice little self-love yoga flow. So go ahead and put on something comfy and meet me in a comfortable seat on your mat. Coming into a comfortable seat. Finding your sitting bones with those two hard bones located under the glutes, just rocking the glutes side to side until you find those sitting bones. And letting the knees open up to the floor. And we'll bring one hand to the heart and one hand to the stomach. So we'll just take a moment here to really sink into our mat. To feel our heartbeat beating into our hand. Feel our chest and our stomach rising and falling with every inhale and every exhale. Noticing our life forces, the things that keep us living and breathing. So take this moment and notice whatever there is to notice about your breath and about your heartbeat. Allowing your mind to focus completely on these two. Sinking yourself deeper into yourself. Allowing your breath to fill up your whole body and for your heartbeat to fill up every inch of your mind and body with this sweet, sweet love and comfort and warmth that you fill yourself up with. And on an inhale, we'll bring the hands up, we'll reach up, we'll look up. And then exhale, bring hands together as you sink them down to heart center. Samastitihi. Take an inhale and see if you can feel your heart moving towards the hand, and then exhale. Sink in here, sink into your sitting bones, and then inhale, we'll reach up. We'll look up, stretch up. Exhale, hands come to Samastitihi, hands at heart center. Inhale, see if you can feel the heart moving into your hands. Exhale, sinking here into the weight of your body, down into the mat. One more time. We inhale, reach it up. Stretch up, look up. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Feel your heart moving to your hands. Feel yourself opening up to the possibility that you are here for. Setting an intention, or maybe just noticing why you came to your mat today. And then exhale, we'll come to hands and knees, making our way into tabletop, however is comfortable for you. Bringing fingers as wide as we can get them directly under the shoulders. Knees are directly under the hips, and the core is going to be pulling in and up. So that spot right of the lower belly, right below the belly button. It's going to be pulling into the spine and then up towards the collarbones. And keeping this engagement as you inhale, the stomach is going to move to the floor. The hips are going to shine back, and you're going to pull your heart through the arms, coming into our cow pose. And then exhale, we send the spine up. We tuck in the chest, we tuck tailbone, we engage core, coming into our cat. Inhale, send it down through cow. Exhale, send it back through cat. And seeing if you can start to move with your own breath. Inhaling through cow. And exhaling through cat. Just 3 more times each. Then we'll meet back in our neutral tabletop. Seeing if we can flow with our own breath. Starting to notice how our body likes to move. So if you wish to add any movement as you exhale, and inhale into cow. you are more than welcome to do so. We'll take one more big exhale, send it down in cat. And then come back to a neutral tabletop. And we'll walk the hands one little handprint forward. And then we'll walk the knees 2 knee prints back. Setting up for puppy pose, so we're going to send the hips up to the ceiling and then start to sink the chest down to the mat. Trying to keep knees directly under hips as you lower forehead down to mat. And just take these next couple of breaths and see if you can feel your rib cage expanding. See if as you inhale you can feel your rib cage and heart center sinking towards mat. Sinking out to the left and the right, and even up towards the ceiling above you. And then as you exhale, remember to keep core engaged as you sink the chest, maybe even deeper, closer to the mat. Inhale, feel that expansion in the rib cage, and then exhale, sink into all that expansion you just created. We have one more big inhale. And then as you exhale, sink the weight of the body into the forearms and start to pull yourself down onto your belly, pulling shoulders over elbows, bringing hips all the way down to the mat. We'll wiggle the hips and the knees and the feet wide. We'll rise the chest and the forehead away from the mat as we bring elbows directly under shoulders. And we'll take a big inhale and imagine you have a string that's pulling your head up. And then as you exhale, there's a string pulling your heart forward. Coming into our Sphinx pose, we inhale, lift the head, really pushing into the hands and the elbows as we think about pulling the heart forward. Inhale, find some length. Exhale, really pull the heart through the arms to the front of the mat. And then start to sink the weight into the hands. Take a big inhale and start to feel that string actually lift you up. Lift the elbows off the mat. Exhale. Think about pulling hands to hips, keeping them where they are, but energetically moving the hands back towards the hips as you pull the heart through the arms. Inhale, feel that string lift you towards the ceiling. Exhale, feel yourself pull your heart through the arms to the front of the room. One more big inhale. One more big exhale here. Inhale and then exhale, slowly bring the hands down to the mat. So let the whole body find the mat, bringing forehead to mat. Tucking chin, bringing hands directly under shoulders. Keeping knees where they are, and then on an inhale, we'll lift chest, shoulders, neck, and head, and we'll look to the front of the mat. Exhale, we fold. That was baby cobra. You can stay there, or you can lift into full cobra by inhaling, lifting chest, shoulders, belly, neck, and head. Wherever you are, think about pulling the heart through the arms, energetically pulling hands towards hips. Exhale, fold. One more time, we inhale up into our cobra, lifting chest, shoulders, belly, neck, and head, pulling the heart through the arms, keeping core engaged as you exhale, sink back down into the mat. Wiggle hips back directly in line with knees and feet, and when you're ready, push up onto hands and knees. Take fingers wide, hands directly under the shoulders, lift one knee and then the other, and come into a high plank. Just setting up our foundation for downward facing dog. So taking feet hip distance, hands directly under shoulders and pushing you away from the mat, keeping core pulling in and up. Whole body is engaging, and then exhale, sink the hips towards the ceiling, sinking into your upside down V. And before taking any movement, take a moment. Notice how the body feels here in this inversion. Come back to your heartbeat. Come back to your breath and notice something different. And then once you've noticed the differences, go ahead and if you wish, go ahead and just start to pedal out one foot and then the other. Maybe come onto the sides of the feet. Again, just listening to your body, doing any movements that feel good here in your downward facing dog. And then once you're ready to come to a still dog, you'll inhale, send the hips up as high as you can towards the ceiling as you bend into the knees. Exhale, push into the hands and think about pushing stomach towards thighs, seeing if you can actually get them to touch. Or just moving in that direction. Take one more big inhale. Exhale, look to the front of the mat. And then make your way to the front of the mat. Taking as many steps as you need to get there. Taking feet to hip distance. So taking your 2 fist prints, bending your knees as much as you can to place your hands in between your fists. And then take opposite hand into opposite elbow, coming into our ragdoll pose. Letting gravity completely pull you down into the mat. Pulling arms and head down as you allow yourself to maybe rock side to side. Rock back and forth. Maybe come back to your intention here and just notice how it feels to think about it. How it feels to sink that intention into every part of your body. And then exhale, let the hands find the floor. Start to bend the knees as deep as you can. Pull chin into chest and slowly start to curl up. Curling one vertebrae at a time all the way up to standing. Seeing how slowly you can stack hips over knees. How slowly you can pull one vertebrae on top of the other to bring shoulders up. Exhale, roll them back and down. Bringing hands to the front of the room. So down at your side, but facing the front of the mat. And take a moment and take an exhale here, and then bring one hand to your heart and one hand to your stomach. And come back to your heartbeat. Come back to feeling every inhale and exhale, allowing your stomach and chest to fall, to rise and fall into the hands. Taking a couple breaths here and just noticing whatever there is to notice. And then either keeping feet at hip distance or heel toeing them under you together. Bringing big toes to touch with a slight space in between the heels. And then once you're ready, take a big inhale and reach up. Stretch up, look up. And then exhale, see if you can fold all the way down with a flat back, really sending the hips up and back as you fold all the way down in the direction of the toes. And then inhale, rise halfway up. Think about that cow pose, so sending the hips back, allowing the stomach to move towards the floor, pulling the heart through the arms as you look to the front of your mat. Exhale, fold. See if you can fold so deep that knees bend so hands can plant. And once they plant, step one foot back and then the other, coming into our high plank. Or maybe you lower the knees and come into a low plank. Take an inhale and look to the front of your mat. Exhale, pull elbows into rib cage as you lower chest and hips all the way down to the mat. Wiggle the hips and knees out from under you. Pull elbows into chest as you inhale. Come into your cobra, lifting chest. Shoulders, maybe belly, neck, and head look forward. Exhale, fold. Push up onto hands and knees. Into your plank and then down into your downward facing dog. Where we'll take one breath. Take one big inhale and then exhale. Send it loud out the mouth. Taking a nice big sigh. And then inhale, bend the knees. Look forward. Exhale, make your way to the front of your mat. Inhale, let hands slide up shins as you rise halfway up. Looking to the front of your mat. Keeping core engaging as you exhale, fold. Inhale, we rise all the way up. We reach up. Stretch up. Look up. Maybe even offer something up and then exhale, fold. Come all the way back down. Seeing if you can fold with that flat back. And then inhale, bring it up halfway. Seeing if you can really root down through your feet as you rise to that halfway point. And then exhale, fold. Fold it down so deep. Hands plant. Maybe step the other foot back. And then bring the other back to meet it. Coming into your high plank or your low plank. Inhale, looking to the front of the mat. Exhale, bringing elbows into rib cage as you lower all the way down to belly. from under you. Pulling elbows in as you inhale with chest, shoulders, maybe belly, neck and head, or even coming into an upward facing dog. Exhale, folding. Pushing up onto hands and knees. Up into your plank and then down into your downward facing dog. Or take one big inhale, rise the hips up. Exhale, sink stomach back towards thighs. Inhale, take a deep bend in the knees as you look forward. Exhale, make your way to the front of your mat. However that means for you, meeting in our forward fold. Inhale, rise halfway. Exhale, fold. This time we'll stay in our forward fold and we'll start to fold so deep that chest and thighs touch. And we'll take the hands behind us and we'll give us a nice big hug. So reaching opposite hand to opposite elbow behind the knees. So again, taking that deep bend as deep as you need to get here. Take a big exhale. And then I want you to say something nice to yourself. Give yourself a nice big hug and say that sweet, sweet thing. And then once you're done saying that sweet, sweet thing, think about giving yourself a kiss. And then smile. Then exhale, start to sink the hips behind you even more. Inhale, rise up into our chair. So hips sinking, chest and hands are reaching up. Stomach is pulling in, hips are tucking under us. We're looking down to see if we can see our big toes. If not, sink the weight more into the heels or even rise up out of the knees a little bit. Inhale, reach the hands forward. Exhale, see if you can sink deeper into the knees. Inhale, reach forward, and this time as we exhale, we fold all the way down, maybe straightening up the legs or keeping that gentle bend. Inhale, rise halfway. Exhale, fold, knees bend, hands plant, and this time we'll just step the left foot back. Seeing how far you can take it back and then lowering down onto that knee. Maybe untucking the toe or keeping it tucked. And when you're ready, rising up into our low lunge. Front knee directly over that front ankle or a little bit behind, just not passing over. So take a moment, maybe rise the hips away from the mat. Wiggle that foot forward and just take it slightly in front of the knee. And then when you're ready, inhale, we'll reach up. We'll stretch up, maybe even look up. Feel yourself lift up, but then exhale, sink into your feet. Maybe even sink hips closer to mat. Really keeping your core pulling in and up and maybe focusing on a drishti, a non-moving point somewhere in front of you. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, sink. Whether that's just sinking into your foot, sinking into yourself, or sinking deeper into the pose. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, sink. One more time. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, this time as we sink, we bring hands right in the middle of that front foot and that back hip. Coming onto fingertips and then start to sink the hips back towards that back knee. Start to straighten the leg and pull those front toes back towards your face. Taking as deep as a bend in this front leg as you need. Coming into our half splits pose. So hips over knee. Front toe pulling to the face and then inhale, pull the heart towards the toes. Exhale, sink. Think about giving your knee a kiss. Inhale, pull the heart forward. Exhale, give your knee a kiss. Do that one more time. Inhale, find some length by pulling the heart forward. Exhale, sink, give the knee a kiss. And then inhale, come back to center. Lower back down into your low lunge and bring that left hand directly under that left shoulder. Maybe rising up on the fingertips or even taking the fist. And then inhale, reach the right hand up, opening the heart up to the right. Inhale, reach for the ceiling. Exhale, sink here. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, bring a hand back to mat. Bring both hands down onto the mat. Tuck the back toe, lift off that back knee, and step it back into your downward facing dog. Take a big exhale here. And then inhale, bend the knees, look forward, and make your way forward. Coming into your forward fold, taking a big exhale here. And then inhale, rise it up halfway. Exhale, fold. Fold so deep that knees touch chest, that you can find your ragdoll behind the knees, giving yourself that hug. Maybe even saying a different nice phrase to yourself. And then exhale, sink the hips down behind you. Inhale, rise up as you smile. Filling yourself up with all those good feelings as we come into our chair pose. Inhale, reach the hands and the chest up. Exhale, fold. And then inhale, come to our halfway point one last time in today's flow. And then exhale, fold. Fold so deep, knees bend so the hands can plant under you. And this time we step the right foot, stepping it as far back as you can take it, and then lowering that knee down onto the mat. Checking in with your left knee to see that knee is either directly above or a little bit behind front ankle. Just again, not passing over. And then once you're ready, rising up into your low lunge. Inhale, reaching the hands up. Exhale, sink. And for these next couple of breaths, just notice something different about this side compared to the other. Maybe notice if as you inhale, you can reach up even more. Or maybe as you exhale, you can sink the hips and the weight of the body deeper into the mat. Or maybe you notice the opposite. Maybe you notice you're a little wobbly. If so, just engage the core and find that drishti, that non-moving point, and then inhale, reach it up. Exhale, sink. Noticing those slight differences, and then coming back into flow, allowing yourself to try to make them as even as possible. Inhale one more time, reach it up. Exhale, sink. This time we sink hands down to that point directly in between the front hip and the back foot, bringing hands or fingertips down to the mat. Starting to straighten the front leg so back knee is directly under the hips, pulling front toe to face as we come into our splits. And again, taking as deep as a bend as you need in that front leg to find that deep, deep bend, to find this pose to be comfortable for you. Keeping core engaged and toes flexing back to the face, we inhale, pull the heart forward. Exhale, fold. Maybe even see if you can give the knee a kiss. If not, that's completely okay. Just give the air a kiss. Inhale, pull the heart forward. And then exhale, notice the difference. Maybe notice you can sink deeper. Or maybe you notice you can't sink as deep. Maybe on your inhale, you feel the heart pulling even more forward. Exhale, sink back in the flow. Allow yourself to honor those differences. Acknowledge them, and maybe they bring a smile to your face as you notice that you are not perfect, and that is what makes you perfect. Inhale one more time, the heart pulls to the toes. Exhale, sink. And then come back into your low lunge, curling back down onto that full foot. Taking right hand, fist, or fingertips under that right shoulder, and inhale, reach the left hands up as you open the heart to the left. Looking up to that left hand, take one big inhale. Reach it up. Exhale, sink. Inhale, reach it up. And then exhale, bring that hand down to the mat. Tuck those back toes just so we can step the front foot back to meet the back. And this time we'll lower down onto knees. We'll untuck the toes and we'll send the hips back to the heels. Tucking chin into chest so the forehead comes down onto the mat as we sink it back into our child's pose. And maybe you just rock the hips side to side. And then inhale, we'll sit it all the way up. Sitting all the way onto the heels, maybe readjusting yourself on your mat. And then we'll inhale, rise it all the way up as we move into our back bend before closing out our practice. So inhale, reach everything up. Feel that string pull you up. Feel your hands find as much length in the spine as you can as you reach up. Exhale, bring your hands to your back. So imagine you're taking your fingers kind of into your back pocket if you were to have them. And then inhale one more time. We feel that string lift us up. Lifting us as high as we can, and then exhale, just push the hips out. So push the hands into the hips, sink the hips to the front of the mat as you start to send the shoulders to the back of the room. Keeping chin pulling towards chest, but ears away from the face. Inhale, feel the heart lift. Exhale, sink. And maybe you play with taking the hands to the feet. Maybe you just stay here with me in our modified camel pose. Inhale, lifting the heart wherever you are. Exhale, sinking the hips forward. Take one more big inhale. And as you exhale, if hands are on the feet, go ahead and take them to your lower back. And then we all inhale, lift. Exhale, sink the hips down behind us. Walk it into our child's pose. So hands reaching long, maybe even take the knees wide as you pull chin to chest, forehead down to mat, and sink. Allow the body to completely release here on the mat. Maybe taking a few big inhales and a few sighs out the mouth. Allowing the body to completely relax into the mat. And when you're ready, whenever you're ready, sliding the hands back to the chest to push you up. Bring knees together and to sink it down onto one hip. Start to rock the feet forward. Finding those sitting bones again, so rocking the glutes out from under you to find those two sitting bones. Take the legs forward and then hug the left knee into the thigh. So taking the foot as comfortable to the hips as possible, letting the left knee fall open, and then inhale, we reach up. Exhale, we open the arms to the right, so left hand reaches forward, right hand reaches back, and then we let them find the leg and the floor behind us. As we inhale, lift the heart to the ceiling. And then instead of thinking about twisting the whole body as deep as you can, just take a nice little gentle twist to allow the spine to gently release. Inhale, find some length. Exhale, just find that gentle twist. Inhale one more time, find that length. And then exhale, see if you can start to fold over that front leg, walking the hands forward, keeping them on the mat and taking them as to the knees, the shin, or maybe even beside the ankle, wherever is comfortable for you. And then we'll take two big inhales together. Inhale, pulling the heart forward. Exhale, sinking here, whether that means sinking the body closer to the leg or just sinking into exactly where you are right now. And slowly we rise it all the way back up. We move on to the other side, so we straighten the left leg. Pull the right leg in. Big heel is comfortable, as close to the hips as comfortable, letting the knee fall open to the right. Inhale, we reach it up. Exhale, we open up the heart to the left. So taking the right hand in front of us, back, left hand behind us, and then let them find the leg and the mat in front and behind us. Inhale, feel that string lift you up. Exhale, twist. Remembering we're not trying to twist as deep as we can into this pose, but instead we're looking for a nice gentle twist. So as we inhale, we lift up as much as that string can pull us up. And then exhale, we just ever so slightly twist a little bit deeper. Inhale, we find that length in the spine. And then exhale, start to walk the hands forward, taking them as close to the foot as comfortable for you. So whether that's right next to the ankle or next to the knee, or maybe even right by the hips. Wherever your hands are, take an inhale and see if you can pull heart towards toes. And then exhale, sink. Keeping those front toes pulling back to your face and that leg engaged as you inhale, pull heart towards toes. Exhale one more time, we sink. And then slowly rise it all the way back up. Pull both legs in, coming into your comfortable seat, or maybe even lowering it down and onto your back and moving into Shavasana. Whether you're on your back or you're sitting on your butt, go ahead ahead and take one hand to your heart and one hand to your stomach. And take a moment and just soak up everything we just did. Take a moment to allow the body to completely relax. Allowing the mind, the body, and the soul to sink back into full neutrality. Sinking back into a state that will allow you to walk back in to reality with a smile that is filled with love and happiness. And that love and happiness is what you hold for yourself. And you created that feeling. You don't need me or another instructor to create that feeling. All you need is yourself, your mind, and your breath. And you can find it whenever and wherever you wish. Please feel free to stay in Shavasana or your seated meditation for as long as you wish. Please take up these next couple of moments to just soak in all of that love and warmth and those sweet, sweet feelings that you just created throughout this flow, and soak it all up in your meditation or in your Shavasana for as long as you wish. Or if you wish to come out, go ahead and just start to make some gentle movements. Go ahead and just slowly start to wake yourself up, and then slowly making your way to a comfortable seat. Thank you all so much for joining me today in this flow. Thank you for taking some time out of your day just to fill yourself up with all of that love that you hold deep inside for yourself. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please leave them down below, and I will make sure that I get them answered as soon as I can. If you enjoyed this flow and you want to see more, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up down below, and go ahead and hit the subscribe button while you're down there. And yeah, thank you so much once again. It was an honor teaching you this afternoon, this evening, this morning. Whenever you're doing this flow, it was an honor, and thank you for joining me. Namaste.